I'll talk.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Well, I'm going to share it with you because I'm feeling generous today. We'll start Brandon, Will, Moses, J.K., and Quentin.
What are you looking for tonight from that group?
Energy, pace, we're throwing the ball ahead, playing aggressively on offense, and then defensively containing penetration and taking the easy stuff away. Really just trying to put a good 48 minutes together. And I'm excited. I mean, these games, obviously, it's more difficult when you're missing your stars, but it's a great opportunity for a lot of guys.
I imagine. Okay. This throughout the course of the season, just how crucial is it to be able to look at this particular group at this juncture this early right now?
Yeah, it's always helpful. Every game matters for many reasons, and that's one of them. Hopefully there aren't too many games this year where we're missing all three of those guys at the same time. It just sort of happened. Steph got sick. Jimmy hurt his back. Draymond as well, not feeling well, and schedule kind of caught up to us. And the hope would be going forward that when those guys miss games, it's not at the same time because that puts you behind the eight ball. But like I said, every game has a lot of meaning, and this game is a great opportunity for young guys and for us to look at some different combinations and hopefully go play well and get a win. Hopeful that that's the case, but they're day to day. I don't think so. He had an ice bag on his wrist when I got into the locker room last night, but I don't think it's the same injury.
Hey, Coach, why was Al Horford a priority for you guys?
Well, number one, he's a great player. You always want to get great players on your roster if you can. And number two, we needed size. We needed space shooting big, and obviously he provides both of those things. We also needed his leadership, the fact that he's seen everything in this league. Losing Loon, we lost quite a bit of leadership and mentoring. So Al is filling that role, and we're lucky to have him.
Steve, what's it been like preparing for this game today with so many top guys out?
I mean, we're used to this at some level. Every coach goes through, different varying degrees of, roster upheaval on a nightly basis. And so you have a coaches meeting, you go through possible combinations, you look at your starters, how that affects your bench, and spend a good amount of time trying to put together the best plan. And then, of course, after all that is done, as we're talking about, having to guard Sabonis and Zach and how we're going to match up with those guys, we get the word that those guys aren't playing, and so that changes things. So I'm sure, both sides are, putting together plans all day that change based on who's available, and that's all part of it.
Hey, Steve, I know Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy aren't playing. Why do you think that's worked? Has someone had to sacrifice, or is it just high basketball IQ? Why do you think those guys have been able to play?
They're all great players who have impacted winning their entire careers. They're all incredible gamers, winners, and they all play different positions. But you can put any one of them with any combination. I mean, the versatility that they each have allows them to play together or with other people. So it's been a great fit.
How has Kuminga been playing Kuminga Johnson?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of talking going on in Sacramento and out of those mixes like that. But how has
He's been great. We've started him all 8 games. He's playing 30, 31 minutes. He's getting his chance to really make an impact. The energy, guarding the ball, guarding the other team's best player, these are all things that we really need from him. And It's been a really good start to the season for him, and we're excited about where he is. I'm sorry?
Has an attitude been, much different last season and this season is how you guys playing?
Yeah, no, he's doing great, and he brought a great approach to the season, and I think his teammates really helped him after the long summer with the contract stuff, and I think guys like Steph and Jimmy, Draymond, they told him they've all been there, and contract stuff is contract stuff, but as soon as that's signed, it's about winning, and I think they've been great advisors for him on that front, and he's brought a really good approach every day.
Have you been able to check in with Steph at all today?
Yeah.
It sounded like he was getting worse last night.
Yeah, he said his symptoms got worse, and wow, did you check in with him first then? You heard before I did. That's the rumor. Rumors are going around.
Yes, rumors.
Yeah.
What's the concern level?
He texted back that things got worse overnight, but that he's resting today at home and hopeful that within the next couple of days he'll be all right.
Is it Jimmy do that? MRI?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I've been talking with Rick, and he didn't mention anything about that.
Steve, what have you seen from Will that make you feel comfortable?
Really good, versatile player. He can shoot, he can guard the ball, but he also understands the game off ball at both ends. He's in the gaps defensively, he's helping, he's rotating, and then brings a ton of energy. He's flying around out there, and you feel his energy when he's on the floor. He's a player who can connect lineups because of his passing, because of his awareness, so we're excited to give him the opportunity. And I told him how this is the NBA, how strange it is. He didn't even play last night, and now he's starting tonight. But that's kind of how this league works. I'm sorry?
Any restriction on how represents?
Pretty much every night we're going to try to keep him, 20, 25 minutes, yeah.
So you had a donation to Arizona, a gift. Just how did that come together, and what does it mean to continue to have a great relationship with Arizona? Yeah,
I'm very proud of my school and thankful to my school for everything it did for my life, and my family and I are lucky enough to be able to make a contribution to the humanities department where I studied, and the idea is to give scholarships to humanities students at U of A to travel. I just believe that foreign travel is a huge part of education and connecting the world, and so I'm really happy. They came to me with the idea, and I loved it, and I have great partnerships there with AP Durant, who's the head of the College of Humanities, and a lot of people at the school. I still have a really strong connection. Love my school, and very proud to be able to help. My biggest concern right now is my fantasy team is 3-6, and so as I'm thinking about the Warrior season and the U of A stuff, it's just in the back of my mind that I just have not coached my fantasy team well enough, and I got to do better.
I've got an idea. You'd like to make a donation to the Raymond Ritter?
Yeah, I'll talk to Joe about that.